Be quiet about that.
The solution for this one is -2. On this one, you should have b times c. b times c is -1 times 3, so that's a -3. And plus a -4 is going to be a -7. Multiply that by a -4 and get a positive 28. Plus a squared b, that's going to be -4 squared is 16. 16 times a -1 is a -16. And then you subtract 3. This part here will give you a 12. 12 minus 3 will be 9. So we'll do y minus x. That's a -3 minus a -2, which is a -1, squared is 1, times z is a -4. So we'll have a -4 plus, this squared is 16, and then minus, we'll have y squared, which is going to be 9. 9 times x is a -18. Alright, so it's going to be -4 plus 16 is 12, plus 18 should be 30. The winning number today is 5. "14 out of 20 is 70%. On the first one, you should have x cubed minus 7x squared plus 4x plus 12 equals 0. On the second one, you should have x cubed minus x squared minus 6x equals 0. The third one, x to the fourth minus 6x cubed minus 21x squared plus 146x minus 120.
I have not 21, I have 20.
Number 4 is x to the fourth plus 2x to the third minus 23x squared minus 60x equals 0. Number 5 is x squared minus 13x plus 42 equals 0. Number 6, x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Number 7 is x squared minus 3x equals 0. Number 8 is x to the third minus 6x squared plus 3x plus 10. And number 9 is x to the fourth minus 13x to the third plus 44x squared minus 32x. Last one, x to the third plus x squared minus 44x minus 84 equals 0. The Common Core objective: know the fundamental theorem of algebra and show that it is true for quadratic polynomials. Here's example 1. And you'll have to do this on the test. You'll have to do 4 roots, 3 roots, 2 roots. There's not going to be anything 5 or higher. That just gets ridiculous after a while. So on this one, if you put in the opposite, x plus 2, x minus 4, x plus 3, and x plus 1, this is what you should get. Pay close attention, even if you have to go back and look at it twice, and double check that these are the opposites. Because if they're not, you're doomed from the beginning. Now how I do it is I go these two and then these two. That's how I usually multiply them out. So if you multiply the first two, you should get x squared minus 2x minus 8. And if you use the shortcut to get the middle x term, you add 2 and negative 4. That's a negative 2. Multiply them to get the back number. And then for the other one here, multiply these two to get x squared plus 4x plus 3. Again, the shortcut to get the middle term is add 3 and 1 to get 4x, and then multiply 3 and 1 to get 3. Now from here, what I do is I go with this first term and multiply it by each of these, and then go in that direction left to right. So if I start with that first x squared and multiply by the right side, again I'm doing this to here, here, and here. I'll come up with x to the fourth plus 4x to the third, and then plus 3x squared. That comes from x squared times the second quantity. And when you're finished with that, you go to the minus 2x. If you don't include the sign, it's going to be over with. You'll end up with the wrong answer. So if I do the minus 2x here, it's going to be minus 2x to the third minus 8x squared, and then minus 6x. So that leaves me with just having to do the minus 8 there. If I do that, it's minus 8x squared minus 32x, and I need some more room, so I'll do this. Cheat a little bit. There we go. Minus 24 equals 0. Are there any questions about how any of these came out? Once you get to this point, if you did everything right, it's just a matter of simplifying, but you could still make a mistake. X to the fourth, usually the first item out front is by itself. There's no other x to the fourth in there. So now we have to go to 4x to the third minus 2x to the third, and that's going to be plus 2x to the third. Your squares, 3x squared minus 8x squared is negative 5x squared. Negative 5x squared minus 8x squared is negative 13x squared. And after that you have x terms. Now since my circles overlap some of these, let me know if I say the wrong sign, because sometimes it turns a negative into a positive when I circle stuff. Negative 6x minus 32x is a negative 38x, and then your one constant is minus 24. For your setup, you should have x minus 5, x minus 2, x plus 3, not x plus 3, that is x minus 3, and x minus 4. If I multiply these two together, I get x squared minus 7x plus 10. And if I multiply these two, I get x squared minus 7x plus 12. Now, when I go through to multiply like I did on the example problem, I'll come up with x to the fourth minus 7x to the third plus 12x squared. Moving to the negative 7x now, minus 7x to the third plus 49x squared minus 84x. And then I'm moving to the plus 10, and I need to move down to the next line. Or I could cheat a little bit again, lower it down like that. Maybe I can fit it in. This will be plus 10x squared minus 70x, and then plus 120. Still couldn't get it. There we go. Alright, so if we figure this out by simplifying, we should have x to the fourth, and then negative 7x to the third minus 7x to the third is going to be negative 14x to the third. And 12x squared plus 49x squared is 61x squared, plus 10x squared is 71x squared. Negative 84x minus 70x is negative 154x, and then plus 120 equals 0. Bonus answer is 1. Here's another bonus while everybody else finishes the practice. The answer to the bonus is -2. You should start out with x minus 6, x minus 2, x plus 1, and x plus 5. So when you do these two, it's x squared minus 8x plus 12. And these two will be x squared plus 6x plus 5. Multiplying from left to right, as Dietrich found her mistake, evidenced by the pen dropping hard on the desk. This is x to the 4th plus 6x to the 3rd plus 5x squared. And then moving here, we will have a negative 8x to the 3rd minus 48 x squared minus 40x. Going to try to lower this down a little bit. See if I can fit it in. Going here now, we should have plus 12x squared plus 72x and plus 60. Still can't fit it all in, but I can now. Equals 0. Now you should have x to the 4th from this, and then 6x to the 3rd minus 8x to the 3rd is negative 2x to the 3rd. And then 5x squared minus 48x squared is negative 43x squared plus 12x squared is a negative 31x squared. You have minus 40x plus 72x, which will be a plus 32x, and then plus 60 equals 0. The bonus is 7. Here's another one. The answer is -2. For this one, it is x minus 3, x plus 6 equals 0.
I'm pretty sure I probably didn't.
So it's x squared plus 3x minus 18 equals 0.
I must